The fellowship was amazing. Although it was challenging because the pandemic of COVID-19, I really enjoyed my experience during this summer, learning about how to become a science journalist and also how to make science more inclusive and accessible to Hispanic community throughout the summer. The Mass Media Fellowship definitely exceeded my expectations. I didn't have any experience in science journalism. I never wrote a story for a newspaper, and I ended up writing 27 articles for a Nuevo Dia newspaper. I am a cancer immunology researcher, and I recently completed my PhD at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm also a bilingual science communicator. I think that all the stories that I wrote were my favorites. I really enjoy writing about racism in science, diversity, inclusion, and equity in STEM. And however, at the beginning of the fellowship, I started writing about a manatee that arrived at El Centro de Conservación de Manatíes del Caribe. During the last part of my fellowship, I had the opportunity to travel to Puerto Rico, and I ended up visiting the place where they conserve all these animals and protect them, and met the manatees that were part of my stories at the beginning of the fellowship. I also had the opportunity to interview in person multiple scientists from the island. Another story that I really enjoyed during this summer was to write about the Taínos, the native Puerto Ricans that they were here before us. When I arrived to Puerto Rico, I quickly met my editor, Geraldo Alvarado León, and I also had a tour throughout the office of El Nuevo Dia newspaper. I saw all the big spaces that they had, all the big printers that print the newsprint every single day, especially my stories that went out during Sundays. Right after the fellowship ended, I got a position as an associate director for the Puerto Rico Outstanding Undergraduate Diversified Program, or PROUD, at the University of Puerto Rico in Humacao, which is my home institution. This program aspired to create the first center for teaching and learning in Puerto Rico. Being a AAAS Mass Media Fellow gave me the visibility in Puerto Rico and created this opportunity that I just got. I don't see myself pursuing a career as a science reporter. However, I'm a passionate science communicator, and my current work is to promote diversity, inclusion, and equity in STEM. And for this reason, I will be definitely continue working to make science more inclusive and accessible to diverse community, especially Hispanic community.